Previously, the game picked up with Ceres, Aerith, and Ballora slipping off on their own to try and get the information needed for them to continue on their journey. Because splitting the party in the middle of the abyss is always an A+ decision, don't you know? Many stealth rolls were made over the course of the next few hours, and the lowest one was a 34, because rogues. Team Stealth was able to make their way to the house they were heading towards, and Ballora used acid to burn through some bars on one of the windows. Then she broke the window, drawing some attention, but they were able to get inside before any of the nearby undead saw them. They found themselves in a hallway full of coffins and statues, and they quietly made their way through the building looking for anything useful. They found a variety of old knickknacks and weapons, some more statues, several ornate coffins, bloodstains, and some locked doors. Hubert accidentally woke one of the statues, but Team Stealth destroyed it before it even had a chance to attack, because, once again, rogues. Ceres then took a closer look at one of the locked doors, which all seemed to lead into the same central room of the building. There was a bar over the door that clearly had some magical runes of some type engraved on it, which they suspected would cause problems if they touched. Aerith turned herself into an ant so that she could crawl under the door. She found herself in a room full of books. She went back under the door, polymorphed Ceres and Ballora so that they could go under as well, and turned herself back into an ant. They decided they'd worry about getting out of the room once they had everything they needed. Inside the room, Ceres found about a dozen books that were specifically about Orcus and Thanatos. Meanwhile, Hubert, who was keeping watch outside, noticed movement in some of the coffins and started hooting quietly. Team Stealth spent a minute pecking as many books as possible into Ballora's haversack, starting with the ones Ceres found, but grabbing many others as well. Then Ceres picked the lock on the door. They braced themselves before opening it, aware that it would probably set off the runes on the bar on the other side. The moment the door opened, a loud alarm started blaring. They ducked under the bar and dashed for the window. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Arian caused the distraction by shooting a fireball up into the air above the city. Team Stealth was able to make it outside of the building without getting caught, and they took the long way back to the others to make sure they avoided any trouble. Once they got back to the others, the members of the group who could speak Abyssal settled in to go through the books they'd stolen. Zallar was able to find the information they needed in one of them. The final hills themselves guard the grand stronghold of Everlost. They will not allow you to find an end to their hills, nor can you approach and grow nearer until innocent and living blood has been spilled. The hills demand sacrifice in order to approach and cross. A life must end. The group spent some time arguing about various loopholes to get around killing someone while having a hero's feast. What if they killed someone and then immediately resurrected them? What if they killed Aerith's hamster? By the time they turned in for the night, they hadn't made any decisions. Nor did Iridian's or Poppy's divine intervention attempts work. Cal and Ballora took first watch, with Ceres staying up through part of it. She overheard the two of them having a conversation in Elvish, and, after blatantly eavesdropping for a bit, joined in. Zero could tell that it was a tense conversation that probably leaned more towards an argument, but he didn't speak Elvish and therefore couldn't understand what they were saying. Secrets! The rest of the night passed uneventfully, and everyone made, or in some cases failed, various saves the next morning. And that's where we left off.